Hello there, welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Gaiety Titan. We're here on Sandriver and we're in the Leopard PTA. It's a counter mode, and this game obviously is the more observant looking at the entry screen will realise. This game is predating the, or even this screen, the merge between Xbox and PlayStation. So this is an Xbox exclusive game from earlier in the year. And it was a game that I almost didn't show because when I first looked through it, I thought, superficially, this game is actually a very simple example, really, of me being lucky. In that I make some decisions, and I certainly take some dodgy shots that could have ended my tank and could have lost me the game. But we managed to pull through it by luck as much as anything else. But however, there was a little bit more going on, and I thought it's actually worth a slightly closer look. So we're coming here, and I pulled back to this position. I didn't actually go through the other passage down to the dunes, because I was waiting for our teammates to catch up. I was wondering who else is with me. I thought, okay, 2 tank destroyers and the artillery in support would probably be enough. I'm not sure if I would have come down here if I was artillery, simply because being the first guy, sort of having nobody between you and the enemy is not a good idea. But I thought the Leopard is fast enough to come along here now. I'm skirting along the edge of the dunes. I know there's guys in the wadi, but I'm not too sure whether there's anybody on the ridge line over them, around where the cap circle is. And by going along the back of the dunes, I was high enough that I might be able to see somebody, but minimise, shall we say, the chances of being spotted, because I'm increasing the distance as far as I can. And also, I just drive down into the valley, drive down into the low ground if I was spotted, and just turn around and go back the other way. Now we have a queue of tanks queuing up into the middle cap circle, which is not a great idea. Some of those tanks should redisperse and find themselves a different position, because they're just queuing up one behind the other. In fact, made themselves very vulnerable to artillery. But there's still no sign of the enemy, so it looks like we have a classic Lemming train. It's a classic Lemming train because nobody came this way. Everybody's on the other side of the map. They ran into our guys and they've actually stopped, despite outnumbering our guys massively. Now, our couple of guys in the dunes should probably have pulled back south of the dunes, southeast of the dunes, so that they were at least getting fire support from their allies. And we know from this position that there's artillery. There's artillery behind, around the corner here. There's another tracer round going off. And as soon as we come around the corner of the mountain, we spot it straight away. So the M12 knows now at the stage it's been spotted. It's making a run for it, but it's too late. And we've spotted another artillery as well. And we've spotted a Steyr Waffenträger on the ridgeline. I don't know if it's on the ridgeline in front of me or the ridgeline beyond that, but that Steyr, if he had a shot at me, should have taken it. Because it might very well have saved some of his artillery. In fairness, the M53-55, he had a go at it, and he did manage to get a very solid hit into me, removing more than half my health. And we're now romping away. We have 5 tanks up, with the enemy confined into one quadrant of the map. Admittedly, they're starting to go infiltrating down through the zero line, and the artillery's making a run from it from the northern position. Probably a little too late. And again, you don't want to be the guy on the edge. We have lost the dunes to the north, but we're still in a pretty strong position. We're holding the dunes. Oh, we've given up the central position. See, that's it, people. The central position now, or at least one tank in the central position, would be ideal with the current state of play, because they'd be getting crossfire. And I'd be clearing whoever's inside the cap circle out of it as well. Now, I think that stockade is able to retreat into the wadi, so I'm not getting a good shot on him from here. And there's probably no point in me continuing to hang around in this location. So I might as well move for the middle of the map. They've pulled a tank. There's 2 tanks between us at the moment. The game isn't over by any stretch of the imagination, but on the other hand, we still have a very good position. Now, the enemy do have a light tank that have managed to escape into the rear, into our artillery park, so to speak, and in a way that our artillery can't mutually defend, and nobody's come back to help the artillery either. Managed to track the diamond back, but not he had a kit. He had to repair the tracks and put a round into me, and then we finish him off. Still a very useful kill, and that Diamondback actually had been doing very, very well prior to this for the team. Now this is where it nearly all goes wrong. We outnumber the enemy more than 2-1. However, we start losing tanks. And I start making some dodgy decisions as well. Now I think the coming up close is the right decision to make. I didn't have a lot of hit points left. However, I should have concentrated on the UDIs rather than on the Fatherland. I think it was it's an easier tank to penetrate as a more vulnerable tank, so we've lost a tank. I think we might have lost 2 tanks at this stage, because there was a Nomad in the Wadi with the 2 heavy, with the UDIs and the Fatherland, and it's dead as well. So now we were outnumbered the enemy 2-1, now we're only a tank up, and the UDIs, another tank has died. This is only 3 of us left, and now it's 3 against 3, and I've managed to fluff that round as well, which is bad shooting on my part, and I've only got 67 hit points left from my trouble. The Bat Chat is trying to get a firing solution on the stockade, and he's managed to spot the stockade. It was moved away from its last known location, facing me, so I thought it was okay, safe enough to peek the corner. And will I get a shot against the AMX? And we've lost the Bat Chat. Now I think what happened with the Bat Chat was it was alive when the Fatherland died, and I don't think the 1390 killed. Actually, I checked the kill feed. 1390 didn't kill it. What happened with the Bat Chat was that he was so close to the edge of the cliff to get gun depression on the Fatherland that he wasn't able to reverse back out of it, and was forced to commit to diving down the cliff and dying as a result. So the IKV did not survive the encounter with the MX 1390, which is not a terrible surprise really. It was outgunned and outmaneuvered. It was a faster tank, and the autoloader, I think he's on a reload cycle, but he's also made, I think, a second mistake. He is circling around the back of the town where he's continuously spotted by me, so I know where he is. Whereas if he'd broke for the dunes, lost contact, particularly had broken to the southwest and lost contact in the dunes down there, he could have gone somewhere, and I wouldn't know where he would have been, and very likely have spotted me before I would have spotted him. But since I was a one-shot kill, the advantage would have been his. So we got a top gun, 2,800 damage. Seems like a very flattering result at the end, but I don't think... I think it is a flattering result. I don't think that I particularly deserved it, should we say, in this particular game. However, one of the enlightening elements of this game is actually the screen after this. When we flip over, the 3 surviving enemy team players at the end were the top 3, and they're near enough the top 3 damage dealers: the UDIs, the AMX 1390, the Fatherland. Okay, the Diamondback did more damage, and he was one of the last 4 anyway. Whereas in our case, the top damage dealers and the late survivors don't necessarily line up. Myself and the Bat Chat did well on the damage side, but some of our other late survivors weren't actually top damage dealers. So I think what happened when we were like 3 tanks up and outnumbered the enemy 2-1 is that some of our more aggressive players got a little too aggressive. They were trying to end the game quicker, win harder, and in doing so they were taking risks that were unnecessary. They lost their tanks, they allowed the enemy to recover, because the better enemy players were being more careful, taking their shots and making their shots count. And it nearly cost us the game. So, yeah, you got to make sure that it's worth your hit point risk when you're taking risks towards the end of a game. And that's the bit that I wanted to communicate. The fact that some of our top damage dealers were dead well before the final showdown. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found that interesting. I'll catch you all again soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.